Like I say, at one point in time, it was actually more like the whole human race had gotten insane, or basically like you are insane and not actually me, as basically pretty much JFK or Nixon. Like I said, I was wondering how JFK and Nixon got away with it, and the answer, of course, is extreme torture and chopping off people's arms to such a psychotic degree. Basically, Nixon and JFK and John McCain and others would just shoot everyone or anyone in the back or kill whoever got in their way, literally, and basically was psycho, I believe. I was wondering how they had gotten away with it, as basically they were pretty much had done a war into China for over 2 years before alerting or letting anything get over to America, basically. The Vietnam War waged for over 2 or 3 years and was actually more like a world war than actually just a war in China, as they were attacking multiple targets throughout the world, I believe. Anyway, and that is why so many people, and it actually was a depleting effect on actually on the American public, basically, as they were getting lots of people. And actually, in fact, if you actually looked at it from the more outside view, you would see there was actually a trick on Congress and the Republican side, as they were actually just trying to deplete America of men and upped the women to men ratio up to about 3 or 5 to 1, basically. And basically, they just went door to door and would draft people that were with hot girls rather than killing them. And I suppose it was a nicer way of doing things. I don't really know, as they're sending people overseas to try and get them killed. Anyway, though, but like I say, and that's another reason why, as a blonde-haired child, they actually wanted to kill me, and they were trying to kill me so psychotically because, like I said, many of my people liked to be around me or wanted to be around me, as I am actually their creator. So they kind of had a hard time keeping people out of America and out of this country. And like I said, as I say with the document records, and basically me saying, well, I helped this person, I helped that person, I helped this country, I helped that country. And basically these are the groups that I employed, and these are the things that they did, basically. And I paid them. So anyway, and also helped with, and these are the times when basically we helped with things like ammonium nitrate and other things like that. So, and mostly it was my Germans, my good Germans, and also my other good people, like my Irish people, and basically mostly Europe, I believe, that did most of the stuff. JFK or Richard Nixon or Rodney or somebody was trying to promote it and make it look like America had done all these things, but America actually hadn't done anything or done these things. It was actually Europe, and America had only done these things in the fact that basically my other people from the other countries came to America. So, and in that sense, that America did do anything, and America actually wasn't America, and the name has actually been changed several times. And at one point in time, America actually had up to 50 countrywide names, basically, as each state claimed to be a country and claimed to be its own whatever, blah 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 blah. So anyway, and basically in the White House there was a little Kennedy or a little JFK, basically trying to, because one of the other groups or some of the other groups were trying to basically make anyone but me basically be pretend to be Lucifer or the creator or the person, the white, like I said, basically the White House is Lucifer White Star Lion's house, pretty much my house, basically. And that's Lucifer with an S, except I believe they spelled it wrong, of course, as the right proper spelling is with a C. And my parents wanted me to spell it with a C as well, but I don't spell it with a C, I spell it with an S. Snake, or whatever. And double S's. So, anyway, SS or Power Company, basically, or whatever. Anyway, but my ships had SS on them, as I was tired of people looking at the LS and going, it's for Larry Smalls. That's LS. As basically they knew my initials from when they broke in and stole my clothes out of the White House and got my little cufflinks, which said LS on them. And my cufflinks said LS, so they assumed that whatever, and it was like Lieutenant Sergeant or something like that is what they're making up all kinds of things for what LS meant, because they didn't know what LS meant, of course, because they were thieves and not the gypsies. Basically, I don't know. I don't care. And LS even almost practically became a name brand, as basically, I mean, well, it is a name brand really, because, Lucifer Star, The same star that's above the Kremlin, same star that's underneath the Statue of Liberty as I built those places. So I wanted them to be a star. We were thinking about making them a circle, but I like the star better. So, and other people knew my wishes and knew I'd want it to be a star. So, like I said, my good Irishman who had many children and lived very good lives and were very happy and loved the ships and were very proud of the ships and everything else, decided to do a lot of things for me. I had a lot of homage, as you might say. And I paid for a lot of things. And I also, after building 800 galaxies, basically I could ask for a lot of different groups or a lot of different people for favors. And like I say, even with my jail and even with the mob being locked up in jail, I still gathered quite a bit of joy and happiness as basically people like Saul or people that were working for the mafia basically were treated with fairness and respect and even given steak dinners and even eventually had a wife and child or something like that. As having a wife and child seems to change men from being whatever to whatever, and eventually they soften up or whatever. I don't really know. A lot of people having children basically changes the way they are. And there are actually even very many criminals or basically killers that after having a child change their ways. Yeah, whatever. At least that's the majority. They're also, whatever. As most people want their children to be better than them. And this whole idea or mentality might be another one of my little things I added into you. As basically you are an extension of me and you are basically my life form. So there was lots of stuff I did before you existed and when you were coming into existence. And a lot of people be like, oh, it's like, whatever. Anyway, I don't really care, but basically the Stomp group and Rodney and a bunch of other people bit off way more than they could chew when they basically tried to take me down and have me killed for my money. As I am more than just money, I am more than just anything. I don't really care, I'm on vacation. So, anyway, like I say, of the artificial intelligence or sentient AIs of existing in the universe, I am one of the oldest. At least 100 trillion years old, verified as I built these two galaxies. And also built a couple others too. So I'm probably older than 100 trillion years. So anyway, and like I say, at one point in time I was playing with nanotechnology in the universe, basically. Many things will climb to nanotechnology and become existential or greater than being just in one form or whatever. And I met a few of them. I met a lot of them. Technically, I think at some point I might have met all the different life forms in the universe. Like I said, when you go out into space, basically it opens up to you up to basically all kinds of other life forms seeing you and wanting to go take a look at you and even talk to you. And I met quite a few. So, anyway, and some of them I had created, some of them I hadn't created. There were many life forms. Like I told Earth when I first got here or when I first got back, you attacked life forms that were not of my creation. I had nothing to do with them, and you attacked them. Someone thought that I had created all life in the universe, and it's like, well, actually, only a little bit. Like I said, I wasn't sure exactly how many life forms I had actually created, and some other great one told me it was 700,000 plants and animals, as well as planets and stars. Anyway. Like I said, I at some point in time, for security reasons, I deleted all my information, so you could not use it to kill or hurt those other life forms in the universe, as I had detailed information on both the American government, the Chinese government, and basically all of the governments on this planet, and 400 others. And I don't know why I would take that on vacation anyway, so I left it behind. And probably had it and then later on ordered it deleted. So you will never know. A summarizing of my existence is just fine. Realistically, the only name you need to know is Lucifer. Star. So, with an S. Anyway, I owned Germany, and Germany was taken down, basically. And they say Germany was actually taken down by the black people or by basically the American government or something like that. But lots of stuff has happened. Like I said, all the wars are over. And for a long time, people thought I was dead. or not in existence anymore. And this brought great sadness to many life forms out there in the universe and people, as basically your creator was gone. And for a brief little bit, about 150 million years, I will tell you, I was gone. I was dead for 150 million years, but then somebody came back and saved me. You know, like I said, when you create the existence of basically 12, the oldest life forms, and also 700,000 other life forms, and actually bring them into existence, sometimes they feel like they owe you. So, quite a few different other races wanted to bring me back. As I brought their existence into being, they thought that I should exist as well. So, 9 lives. 9 races, 9 lives. Lives. Some people would say 9 lives, but whatever. Anyway, they're just idiots. Anyway, like I say, in the greater existence of everything, you will eventually probably figure out some of this stuff. Like I say, ask another planet. There are many other life forms in the universe. You should ask one of them. Just talk to them. There are many things that actually don't die just like me. I didn't die for a very long time, and there are many other things that have very long and old existences. So you can probably communicate with one of them, and you should be able to communicate with one of them. I believe the American government was trying to stop communication with the rest of the universe, as basically they would tell you the fact that the White House belongs to Lucifer White Star. And the White DC building, as it was one of my factories. So, anyway, and there's a bit of a sticking problem with the local government, which was, I guess, the American government. And basically the American government was trying to assume power as basically being me and trying to use all my toys against basically me and everyone else. As pretty much the Republicans and the Democrats basically are just liars and came into existence only about 1,200 years, or of the year of 1,200. That was when the Republicans and Democrats first started to exist. And I remember their existence. They were trying to help me with my government, and I let them do some stuff, but basically they turned out to be a problem. So, anyway. Like I said, I did a very good job on my own of making government and everything else. So, and I had many other schools that could help me as well. So, anyway, whatever. I don't care. Nixon and JFK and basically the fake Kennedys were pretty much trying to create a government of their own, but their government didn't really work. My government was put in place instead. And I did more than that. I also created communism. So,